Hello, welcome to Colonial RV, where today we're going to take a look at an all-new product that Winnebago and Forest City, Iowa has been building in the last year. It's the Winnebago Roam on a Class B gas ProMaster chassis. Now, if you've ever wondered how you're going to get out and travel the country, but navigating steps in an RV, whether it's the running boards or electric steps, may be a little bit difficult for you, well, out of necessity comes innovation. We're combining two great companies here today, Winnebago and Braun Abilities Corporation, to bring to you the new Roam. And as you can see here, it comes with a very, very cool feature, a wheelchair lift. So we're gonna go ahead and take a lift and get inside and show you what it's all about. Come on. Now, before we go ahead and walk through all the features in the new 2023 Roam, we want to just talk about a couple of the main highlights that make it really, really unique and cool. The first one is the small footprint that we're standing in. This is a Class B van, as we mentioned. It's a gas ProMaster. It's on the 2500 chassis, and it's only 19 foot 9 inches in length. That's only about 2 feet bigger than a common and standard Honda Odyssey or Toyota Sienna. So it's very, very easy to drive and make turns, especially if you're going to be traveling throughout the country. A lot of times people think vans are just too big compared to their average daily driver. Now, the second feature, which we really want to highlight, is the lift. So here in 2022, we're 60 years past the first invention of the lift, which was by Mr. Ralph Braun. Now, out of necessity for him came innovation, as we mentioned before. At the age of 6, he was diagnosed, unfortunately, with muscular dystrophy. At the age of 15, he was the first inventor of the scooter, and then at the age of 20, with a lift. At first was a manual lift, and then became an electric lift. And he did that just because he wanted to get to work in a factory that moved further away from his home, and he wanted to do it all on his own, which obviously is very admirable, and that's why today there's over 70 countries utilizing his invention of the lift, and that's why he's known as the father of mobility today. The third highlight in the Roam we talked about before is the small space, but also how smart Winnebago is utilizing the space to make it very big in size to maneuver around. If someone was coming in with a lift, you can easily get to a table if you're going to eat and play cards or do anything like that. Here, as you can see, if you put the table down, you can easily get into the bed. Going to the rear of the vehicle, it's an electric bed, will come down, and then you could just settle in for the evening. The bathroom, as you can see as well, is much larger than most Class B vans, and you could just easily, has a handrail here, just get yourself from a chair into the bathroom if you're going to take a shower or do anything inside the bathroom. Very easy. But we have a measuring tape just to show. You're looking at about 50 inches from the width of this space all the way around in a diameter, so it would be very easy to maneuver around in any type of a wheelchair or a scooter with the use of the smart space. And then when you're inside, Winnebago has the Q-straight straps, which would lock into a wheelchair or a scooter, and they also have a seatbelt, so utilizing the space very, very smart. Now, the fourth feature is something that a lot of our customers are always asking us about, which is warranty. With a vehicle like the Roam, you have three corporations. You have Winnebago, which in this case is a 1-year, 24,000 mile on their touring coaches. From Ram ProMaster, you have a 5-year, 100,000 on their powertrain, which is great. And then from the Braun lift, it comes with a 3-year or 10,000 cycle warranty on the lift. And there's some routine maintenance and sprays for lubricants that you would do. So on certain parts, it's 3 years, and then there's a few parts that's also 1 year with the cycles that they have. So you got a great warranty backing a product like this. You got great space, we got the wheelchair lift, and we got a very, very small footprint. So those are our 4 highlights that we wanted to talk about first before we show you the rest of the coach. And we're even going to do a little bit of a live demonstration here just to do some real world experience. One of our colleagues that works here, Beth, is just going to show us in a second what it's like to get in and to maneuver around so that we can get her take on it as well. So now that we just went through some of the 4 key features of the new Roam, one of our colleagues, Beth, was kind enough, she works here with us at Colonial, part of our staff, to demonstrate herself getting in and out of the Roam. And for Beth, this is the first time that she's seen the new Winnebago Roam. And Beth, I know you have an SUV that you come to work every day. You have the scooter that you stow to make your life easy when you travel. But when you come into this is a very small coach as well, not much bigger than your SUV that you drive. Do you see that the convenience of traveling with a nice open area? You have your own, obviously your own bedroom, you have your own bathroom, you have a small little kitchenette. The seats, as we just showed, demonstrate you easily got from the chair to the driver or passenger seat because they both swivel. Is this something, even if you're not a camper, that would make your life easier when you travel?
Yes, it's very convenient, and it's safety. It's very safe, knowing that I can do everything by myself if I have to.
So it's pretty much like what you're saying, is that the independence that you could travel in something like this, or someone else.
Travel somewhere with this. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's great. That's exactly what we're trying to find out with some real world experience and testing. So we certainly appreciate you coming in to take a quick tour and to show us how easy it is for you to come in and get out of the lift. The great thing with this Braun lift, it has a manual, the electronic controls here, but it also comes with a handheld one as well. So if you're outside, you don't even have to be inside with these controls if you were staying at a campground or somewhere. So that's also one of the conveniences with this lift system. But yeah, we appreciate your time just coming in to test it with us today, and we just wanted to see what you thought as well.
Oh, I'm very happy with it.
Great.
It's easy.
So that was great. We had our colleague Beth just demonstrate the lift to us. Obviously, we get a different perspective, which is great to see what she said will give her mobility and freedom and a peace of mind when she travels in a vehicle like this. Now, the Roam, which again is built on the Ram 2500 chassis, Winnebago offers it in 3 colors. You'll see this is the white. We also have the granite and the cherry red. So those are the 3 colors. This unit right here, which is the first floor plan, because there's 2 floor plans. The difference is this is the 59R AC, which has the roof air conditioner, and then Winnebago also has the RPT, which comes with a pop top. That would be the same pop top sleeping that would come in the Winnebago Solus, the Solus PX, as well as the Winnebago Echo. So that's another floor plan that would be offered, which would be great because then you could sleep up to 4 people. Now, as far as the motorhome itself, we just spoke about it in the highlights with the lift. A couple things to think about with this lift that you'd have to understand. There is a switch right inside here which would turn the power on for the entire the operation of the lift. Once you turn that on, you have 2 choices to operate it, and if you're inside, you can use this. You'll see this is just a wired control for the Braun abilities, and this is what's called a UVL lift. It's a under vehicle lift with 750-pound weight capacity. The Winnebago Inspire is a commercial grade and is 800 pounds, so just a little bit different because that one is stowed inside the van, while this one is underneath. You also have a nice little remote control, a second controller that comes with this lift, which you can use when you're outside if you're at a campground or an area and you just want to have that in your pocket, which will make things a little bit easier. Some of the key features that you need to know in order to operate this lift: you'd have to have the parking brake engaged, number one. You have to have the van with the door all the way open, and then you have to have power to the lift. As long as you have that and you're not in the way of, there's some sensors to make sure that something wouldn't get trapped underneath this. When we put our hand here, you can see that there's some sensors, and Winnebago even has a little sticker here. We'll turn that off. That would just let you know that the lift will not go up because this panel, when it goes up, would not be able to properly line up with the flooring. So with the lift itself, it's great that it has it, and it will stow underneath, which we can easily demonstrate again for you a few times today. But the lift is the main attraction right here in the sliding door, which gives you a lot of great space. They also have the you have some points where you can just grab on with some handles, and you'll see in this case the running board will stop right behind the passenger door, not like all the others, because you need some access for the lift to go in and out. You do have a porch light right here on this side, and you'll notice that the Roam, even though this does not have the pop top, it does not come with a powered awning. We've had a couple customers ask us, is that something that's an option? Currently it's not from Winnebago, but it can be added, and there are customers that have added added a powered awning if you wanted to have outside. Now just remember, with the lift comes weight. We're going to talk about that next, because this is adding some additional weight to an RV, which is with everything else in the conversion from Winnebago. Gets us into some of the safety features. Right inside the door, you'll always see in every RV, and we've talked about in other videos, is going to be your OCC sticker, which is your occupant cargo and carrying capacity sticker. And on the Roam, you'll see here it says 958 pounds. So that is the weight that you can add with anyone who's traveling, your belongings. You have to also factor in your water weight and any tongue weight as well. So if you're going to add additional features to an RV, you always want to make sure that, number one, you're not overweight and you're safe. So one of the safety features that we wanted to lead into, because before you use any RV, if you're not safe, then you're not going to enjoy it with your family. You also have, for safety, from the chassis, you have ABS brakes, you do have airbags, you do have a fire extinguisher. In the ceilings, you also have smoke detectors and CO2. Now, one thing you'll notice does not come in this RV is a propane detector, because the Roam is LP and propane free. So there is no propane on board like most other RVs for either the furnace. There is no cooktop, although it does come with a microwave. So we always like to point out what the safety features: no propane detector, because this is a propane free RV. And we'll talk about some of those features with the furnace, air conditioning, and how they're run when we go inside. As we continue to walk around the Roam, again, Winnebago always style them. They have these nice, you can see the black and the gray with the Roam sticker. It really is a nice contrast to the white. These are 16-inch wheels, the steel wheels that come on the Ram 2500 chassis. And those are going to be for mud and snow, and they have the ply for what a commercial vehicle would be for safety. There's very plain and simple the Roam is. As we come around the back, you do have the hitch. Winnebago installs the hitch, which you have the 3,500 pound standard hitch with 350 pounds of tongue weight. You're also going to have your hookup here, which is your 4-pin. So again, Winnebago is giving you access to be able to either tow a small trailer or put a bike rack or any features that you'd like. Inside the back doors, also very, very simple. Winnebago's has been carrying over their Nautilus water system, which for the case of adding water, winterization, anytime you're going to dump the tanks or sanitize the system, very, very easy and access to it. It's one simple solution for adding water. You do have duplex outlet. You also have 12 volt. And then this is the rear of the sofa, which we'll show you inside how that works. And then what Winnebago does is they give you these nice little bags. In this case, you have the Winnebago Roam. This is going to be for all those Q-straint and seat belts. So if someone was going to be hooking up a wheelchair or a scooter, you have all of the hardware, and we would naturally demonstrate that to you. In addition, we have a tire jack if you're going to get a flat tire and you needed to pump that up. And now that we're talking about tires, the ProMaster chassis does not come with a spare tire, but they do have these excellent inflation kits that would at least get you off of the road if you did get a nail or a puncture into a tire. So that's something that comes with the Ram ProMaster chassis in addition to the kit. This right here is going to be 2 steps. So in the case of the lift, when the lift is inside in the stow position, you can easily take out these 2 steps. And on the sliding door, you would just put this down. They give you 2 of them. They're actually pretty heavy and durable. So if someone's just going to get in and out of the lift easily, since there is no electric step or running board, Winnebago does supply those, and they fit nice and easy right here inside the back door. But very open and spacious. You do have the roof air conditioner, the Coleman Mach 10. You also have your high marker lights from the Ram chassis in addition to the backup camera. And then we'll talk about the rear view camera and the mirror when we get inside. Coming around on the driver's side, you're going to have your standard 30 amp hookup, which is right here. You also have, in this case, no black tank, but just like the Revel, just like the Soluses, you're going to have your cassette toilet, which is 5 gallons. Very easy in a bathroom like this, just to be able to dispose of the black tank waste wherever you are. If it's not a black tank dump station, you can also go ahead and do it in some campgrounds, pit toilets. You just have some additional access to dump your black tank. Down below, we're going to have your gray tank waste drain. So this is where your hookup is for the gray tank, so that you can just go ahead and dump the gray tank that comes on board, which is standard, which is dirty, soapy water from the shower as well as the sink. Oh, one other thing that we did miss, I apologize. You do have the exhaust back here, not only for the chassis from Ram, but then also you're going to have on this coach, since there is no propane, you're going to have the Timberline. That's going to be the glycol water mixture for the furnace. That is the exhaust for your furnace as well as your hot water. So we just wanted to show you that little 1-inch pipe, which is the exhaust for the Timberline system. This is a little area where you can stow your dump hose for your grade tank. So when you're doing it, you just go ahead and pop it open. They're generally like a slinky style, and you can just put it inside the coach. Nice and easy to stow it. Unleaded fuel door. So if you're going to be adding fuel to the coach, this is a gas chassis. Very easy just to go ahead and refuel as you're traveling throughout. Again, driver's door, you'll always have all your stickers for tires as well as the OCC that we showed you on the other side. These mirrors are folding mirrors, so you can just push the button inside the coach and just have the mirrors if you're parking on a main street, just to go in and out, just to make your life a little bit easier. So now that we walked around the 19-foot 9-inch Roam, we're going to go ahead and take a look inside and check out some of the features that just make traveling easy if you just need some additional mobility. Come on, let's go inside. So now that we're jumping back inside, we're going to head and just put this lift back up, and we'll put it into its stow position, and it just very conveniently just comes up as long as no one's in the way of the sensors, because it has a sensor on the lift. It'll just stow underneath the vehicle, very easy. Just take the controls and put it back. Right here for the lift, you do have your on-off switch coming inside. That would give power to the lift system itself, and it has the sensors that would make sure that you're not in the way, as we showed you and demonstrated before. Now, if this lift mechanically would not operate from the electronics, there is a way that you can just take this out and you can go ahead and just crank it up and down manually. We can also demonstrate that to anyone who's interested in purchasing one. So it just makes life easy that you always have a fall-safe system for doing it manually as well as from the electronics. Inside this coach, you're just going to have your main, you have a light switch and your coach battery switch, which is for the 12-volt system. So that's conveniently put right here. As we come inside, I know we showed before in one of the top 4 features how much room you have inside the Roam, and it just makes the accessibility for anyone coming in and out very, very easy. And this is the position you put those 2 steps that we showed you that were stowed in the back, so that you can just get in and get out very easily inside the van if someone did not have a need for even a wheelchair, but maybe just the lift. Inside the van is very, very simple and clean. You're going to have all of your main controls. We do have one of the Q-Strength straps for your seatbelt here. And then for system-wise, I know we talked before, there's no propane on the Roam. You're going to have your air conditioner control system right here for setting the temperature for the roof air conditioner when you're plugged into 30 amp. The Roam does not come with the generator, so you would need to be plugged in with 30 amp for that air conditioner to operate. You have your one-place system, water pump as the second position for the pump, as we showed you in the back. Check all your tank levels, in this case for your fresh and your gray, and then your battery level as well for the chassis as well as the house. Your Xantrex system would just be able to demonstrate and show you what power you're actually using in this RV, and always have ability to understand that. You're going to have your main furnace and hot water, as we were showing you before. This is going to be operating off of that glycol water mixture through the Timberline system. Very, very easy as well. Set your temperature when you turn on the hot water or for the furnace, and then that would just obviously radiate heat inside and keep you warm. Going to have some light switches here. This one even has a dimmer switch. Will go up and down, and you get the little accent lights or in the evening. We'll turn them all on, and then you're going to have your main bed switch. So this is electronic. And naturally, the idea is when it's not in a sofa or someone is traveling in the seatbelts, now you'd be able to sleep east and west in this coach, be able to sleep 2 people. And then they also have a nice table that you can just pop out. It has a locking arm bar underneath. And then they also have an extension. So if somebody did get in, they can lock their wheelchair down, as we showed you before with our colleague Beth, or comes in the RV. They can transition back to the sofa, can operate or eat, use a laptop or iPad, and just have the convenience of nice open space. Can even use the wheelchair from that side if somebody wanted to, just because of the open floor plan. So you do have this nice, like I said, again, accessible table. And the TV has a lock that you can go ahead and move it if you wanted to watch television from the driver and passenger seat, or from the rear of the van, or when you're sleeping at night. It's great that you have that. do have some additional duplex outlets. You have some additional switches down below. So Winnebago was trying to have a lot of the controls that are lower. That way if someone was in a wheelchair and they wanted to have the freedom, they can go ahead and operate most of the things themselves. Which brings us to these cabinets. Obviously they're up higher. As we open up these cabinets, and they do have some locking latches, the nice thing is you'll see they pull down. So if somebody wasn't as tall or was in a wheelchair, they can then access the cabinet and pull it down. With the bags that Winnebago gives you, we showed you one before. This is the owner's manuals. You can then fill items in a bag and then just stow it and then just put it right back up. So you'll have these locks on all the cabinets. And then these are some of the additional bags that Winnebago is offering so that you can put the belongings, easily put it into a shelf, and then you can then push it back up. So you do have all this nice cabinetry, as you can see, and that's why Winnebago designed the cabinets not to be completely rectangle and square, just to give your headspace, to maneuver around the back. Same thing on this side, all the same cabinets. They do give you grab handles, which are the Ram Tough Track mounts. You have one as well on this wall here and on the handle. So if you were going to use an additional, either a soundbar speaker or maybe an Apple or any type of an iPad, you can then go ahead and put it up there just for the convenience of that as well. But that you'll see they also just give you some additional space, and they have some lighting underneath the coach, so when you are maneuvering in and out. For the bathroom, in a Class B, usually bathrooms are fairly small. This one is one of the largest that Winnebago builds in a Class B van, and they do give you the additional grab handle with the Thetford cassette toilet, which would swivel. If you were going to get in, Beth was easily able to get in, and she showed us as well getting in, and they give you some nice baskets, and the shower head. You have a towel or to hang some clothes to dry. So you got a great big bathroom just to be able to transition in when you're traveling, just for the convenience and for your own security, which I know is a big deal if someone is going to be traveling and wants to say, hey, using a bathroom quickly sometimes is a necessity, and it works out really well in the Roam. We do have the additional Q-straints for the seatbelts here, and I know we were showing you this system here is very easy. When you're locking into a wheelchair or device, this little red lever would just lock it in or enable you to lock it into the base. As you can see here, once it's down, we're locked. So then that would then give the security if someone did need to travel in the seat, in their wheelchair, in the Roam, instead of in the driver or passenger seat. Winnebago supplies these for Q-straints, which would make it much easier, and you could then use the seatbelt that comes down from the wall and they lock into the bottom. So very great system here as well. The kitchen dinette and little area, very easy. You do have the microwave. In this case, it is up high. I know Winnebago is considering to see what options they would have to have it maybe lowered, but you do have some additional storage. They even give you the storage that will just drop down in these nice little handy bags. You got a little coat hook down below in the sink. Access to a bunch of switches for the lights, for the bathroom, for the area up front. Refrigerator, which is 12 volt, the NovaCool. So it's just over 3 cubic feet, and it also has a freezer. Ours right now is plugged in, and this is frozen already. Very quickly and very efficiently. 12 volt refrigerators are unlike the old days when they had 3-way fridges on gas absorption refrigerators. They don't need to be level. They operate very easily. They're being charged by the system and the 12 volt batteries that come on board, as well as when you're driving. So the refrigerator here is, you don't even have to think about it as far as power. Winnebago gives some additional storage here with some drawers. And then that would then round out the whole cab of this little 19-foot coach. Up top here, Winnebago does give you the blinds that would go across in the driver and give you some privacy. So these are blinds that you just pop out, and they're magnetic for the metal doors. They fit very easily in, and they're shaped like the windows, reflect the sun. So great product and very easy to insert for anyone. If you're going to swivel these seats and use this area as your internal living space in the evening, great as well. You do have some additional storage, and then Winnebago does give you a carpet for the cab. But up here, this storage obviously is very valuable in a very small coach. And then they also do give you a privacy screen. So if you weren't going to use the blind system, you can just use that as well as kind of even a thermal barrier in the evening. If you were going to heat this coach, you may not need to heat the whole entire cab area. But very easy and very spacious area. You do have a max air fan that comes with remote control, so that'll also help, in addition to the air conditioning system, to ventilate and cool the coach down in the summer months. Now we're going to go ahead and take a step into the cab area, and we'll show you some of those features as well. Now, as we transition from the rear of the coach into the front, you'll see these seats do swivel, which makes it much easier to get in, especially if somebody is looking for a little bit of addition to have the mobility to get in and out of the seat. So not every RV comes with swivel seats, but most do. But that also makes a big difference in a Roam, in a coach like this, to get into the Ram ProMaster cab, which is also very spacious for moving around. This is the new Ram chassis. Again, this is a 2023 on the new Ram chassis, which you'll see it has a lot more safety features through the years that Ram has been adding, and they also give you a lot more of the conveniences. Here in the driver's seat, they have the all digital display, which is great. So it just makes it real streamlined, and when you are driving, just the visualization when you're driving of knowing all of your systems is just great to have that new upgrade. Do have all the same controls here. You also have cruise control, which is nice. One of the features that's hard to see, but over here you do have a battery boost, so if by accident someone left headlights or the stereo on, and then when they left the coach and it drained the chassis battery, which is underneath the foot section here, you could then jump off of your house batteries, the 12-volt batteries, which is great. Then you could just charge back up, and you don't need anyone to get jumper cables out. A lot of times people are always looking through the vans, they see what's cool but what's different. In this case, because this has the Braun wheelchair lift, they have what's called here a little system check that Winnebago have installed that will let you know if all of the features and all of the systems are active for you to operate the lift properly. As we talked about before, in the case you have to have the door ajar, have that checked. You have to have the parking brake engaged. You have to be in park as well. And as long as you have all of the features set, it would then tell you that you're good, and you can then operate the lift, or if not. So it is nice to have that additional help to make sure that you know that if there's one feature that or system that you didn't do correctly to operate that lift, you can do that. So it's great that that is added here. You do have the new wireless charging as well that Ram has been offering for just about a year now. So that's great. You can just put your mobile phone, smartphone there, standard cup holders. And then here in the coach, one of the big things is the new 10-inch display. Just like anything else, you can go through and set all of the features. You can pair a phone. You're also going to have, as we can see here, the navigation, which a lot of people do obviously like to have a nice big screen, as opposed to using an app and going through, which you can also do. You can go through and set that up. You can see here we have what device, or Android Auto, so Alexa. So there's just a lot of modern conveniences in the new Ram chassis that would enable you to travel and enjoy traveling in our country. Standard air conditioning, heat systems for up top, your volume controls. You also have the USB and charging, as well as 12 volt. But you have all of the conveniences, but one of my favorite is this rear view mirror. That's been now out for about 2 years. As you can see, as we are looking in the back, like any standard mirror, is option and function 1. But when you activate it and you pull that little switch up, now there's that second camera in the rear of the van, which would then be able to give you a display, and you could go through. There's a couple settings here if you wanted to move it up and down, give you a little bit different angle depending on traffic and the road. So it's great that you have just a quick flip to activate that rear digital camera. And most people really love it, because when you're driving forward, this rear view camera would only be when you're in reverse, but this one you could leave on while you're driving as just a quick safety and a quick glance at traffic behind you. But again, this is the Ram ProMaster 6-cylinder engine. They have the new upgraded 9-speed transmission. It's been out now again for just about a year. The Roam also is carrying that over. Very easy to drive, great viewing angle in the Roam. But that completes the chassis, and we certainly appreciate you coming and joining us today in this video of the 2023 Roam. It's something that's going to make it accessible for more people to get out and enjoy traveling again and getting out of your home. But from all of us here at Colonial RV, if you like this video, certainly like, share. Our number is 1-800-265-9019. You can also visit us on our website at colonialrv.com. Send us any questions or inquiries. We'd love to help you. But from all of us here at the Jersey Coast, thanks for joining us. Drive carefully.